Hello and welcome to Old Nerd Watches Peter Cushing. Uh, for those of you who don't know who Peter Cushing is, probably the best example I could give is he played General Tarkin in the original Star Wars: A New Hope, the commander of the Death Star. He's most popularly known for his 50s, 60s, 70s run in several Hammer horror films, the Frankenstein films like The Revenge of Frankenstein and all of its sequels, and many of the Dracula movies where Christopher Lee played Dracula, and often Peter Cushing would play Van Helsing or somebody Van Helsing like, but he was in many other of their horror movies, British horror movies, put out by Hammer Horror as well as Amicus Horror. This box set was put out, I think, last year by Severin, maybe 2 years ago now. Anyway, I think I got it about a year ago. Somebody was selling it on eBay at a discount, and ever since I saw that Severin was putting it out, I was very curious. I'm a fan of Peter Cushing, and wanted it. So when I found it at a discount, I got it. Now, this is a very nice box set. Very nice. There's, 5 feature films, 6 BBC teleplays, a 200-page book, and 16 plus hours of special features contained in this box. For me, the highlight of this box would be, it's not listed. Oh yeah, Sherlock Holmes. He started Sherlock Holmes in a BBC series in the 70s? Maybe it was the 60s. Anyway, most of the episodes of that series have been lost. And there's maybe 6 of them on here, I believe. 6 episodes. All the surviving episodes of the BBC TV series. These are good. These are quite good. The actor that plays Dr. Watson is good. These are good. The quality, you can tell it's old shot on video, like the old Doctor Who's and whatnot from the BBC, kind of that type of video quality. A few good special features are included, but this is my favorite out of this entire box, is the Sherlock Holmes episodes. Tender Dracula. This is a very French horror film, horror comedy maybe. The plot is very strange. This is the very first time Peter Cushing ever played a vampire. And what's actually happening in this movie is he's an actor who plays a very popular vampire actor, and he wants to quit acting. So the head of the studio sends 2 writers and 2 basically call girls to the actor's castle to try and convince him that he should continue acting, playing Dracula. This is, like I say, I don't know if this would be considered French New Wave. I'm not sure. It's from the early 70s, and it's the only way I can describe it is that what if Stanley Kubrick had directed Young Frankenstein mashed up with Rocky Horror Picture Show. What if Stanley Kubrick had directed a mashup of Young Frankenstein and Rocky Horror Picture Show? And it's cool. It's very well shot. It's not a very good movie. This movie has the lowest audience score on IMDb I've ever seen. It's got like a 3.6 stars. Not a very good movie, but it's got some neat stuff in it. It does have some neat things in it. A bunch of special features. So it's a strange one. That's a very strange one. Another very strange one. And this one came out in 74, I believe. And it's Peter Cushing as a college professor, a college dean, maybe. He's not in a lot of this movie. This movie is really bizarre. I think it had a lot of production problems. The director, I think, wanted his name removed from the credits at one point, but must be came to grips with it, because I think he's in maybe the audio commentary and some other bits of the special features. But this thing has like a 10-minute just like off the rails for 1974. Oh, this came out in 1971. I'm sorry. Just a 10-minute long drug-fueled orgy scene, which it's pretty shocking for 1971, and a Peter Cushing movie as well. Now, according to the book, this really nice book that comes in this box set, it's like 200 pages. Peter Cushing's wife, who he'd been married to for a long time, decades, she passed away in 1970, and he was kind of lost after that. And so a bunch like these two movies, Tender Dracula and Bloodsuckers, were shortly after his wife passed away, and he was kind of lost at that point. So I guess maybe that is why he agreed to some of these films. And this is a double feature, Suspect and The Man Who Finally Died. Both kind of espionage type thrillers. Just standard fare. Nothing too special about these. Donald Pleasance is in one of them, which is pretty cool. They're okay. They're not great. Nothing too special about those two films. And this movie, Cone of Silence, Peter Cushing plays a kind of the bad guy in this one. Kind of a military airport slash, I don't know, a mashup of a military espionage and airport drama. It's about planes, basically, a new prototype plane, and it's a strange movie. It's not that good, but in all these movies are basically not that good, but Peter Cushing is in them, not necessarily the star of them, and he's always good. Peter Cushing he's got a presence on screen that can't be matched. This movie co-stars, who was it in here? George Sanders. He's in a lot of stuff from back in the day. Can't really name anything off the top of my head, but when you hear his voice, you know him. It's not a bad movie. Little dull, but not a bad movie. The book is cool. It's very autobiographic. It basically is a retrospective of Peter Cushing's career. It's kind of all over the place, though. It's divided into decades, his career, but the writer is kind of all over the place. He'll start talking about a particular time or year in Cushing's career, and then he'll jump around, and then he'll come back to it, and he just keeps doing that all the way through. It's really kind of hard to read it, but it's a great little book full of photos and posters and just retrospective. Pretty much everything Peter Cushing did throughout his whole career is in here. It's a very nice book. A little dull to read, but very cool book. So this, like I said, this either came out 1 or 2 years ago from Severin Films. Nothing super great movie-wise in this. The Sherlock Holmes episodes are really good. The movies are all very well done, very well made. The first two, Tender Dracula and Bloodsuckers, both have very, very low IMDb ratings. One's got a 3.6, the other has a 3.9, if that tells you anything. But they're still interesting to watch, for sure. Plus all the bonus features. If you're a Peter Cushing fan, I'd check it out. It's a little pricey. I can't remember how much it was. But if you're a Peter Cushing fan, I think you'd probably pick it up and enjoy it. Anyway, that's all for this time. If you have anything about Peter Cushing that you can add in the comments, please do. I'm always curious to find out more Cushing curiosities. All right, take care. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time.